I think the key is in any sort of goal setting is making sure that you're very specific about what you want.
Yeah.
If well, the way I put it, if a 5-year-old can't understand it, it's too difficult for the mind to process. So the more specific you are, how many clients, how many workshops, where you're going to work, are you going to franchise the business, are you going to get staff on board? I know it's, you know, it takes a lot of thinking, but it's worth doing it now.
Yeah.
Because then along the way, you know if you're getting there.
Yeah.
And you know you're on the right path, really. Otherwise, you sort of like think, well, I'll set up this business, but I'm not quite sure how many people will see, what we'll do, how much money we'll need to make. It just makes it more difficult. So
with this then, so if you use this this part of the therapy to set your goals and everything else, would you then write it down as well? Or
oh yeah, very much so.
So
yeah,
still,
oh, yeah,
you
definitely.
Still back it up with.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you could do positive outcome frame, or you could do a goal setting session on its own, and then put it together as. So you could go away from here and do a goal setting session, and then you could formalize it in this process as well. So you could write down how to think about for. You could consciously write all the things down as well.
Yeah.
And then it's worthwhile sitting back as well and just visualizing it as well unconsciously, because the unconscious mind is a lot more powerful than the conscious mind. It sort of opens itself up to ideas and you know, generates different levels of creativity, really. So.
And would you say, like, say, okay, we've got the ultimate goal where we want to run our own business, holistic therapy and everything else, so we've got the core content of what we want to do and what we need to train on, but then would you break it down then into smaller goals, you know, on your timeline to get to that point to then to ultimately get to... Yeah,
and that's what you would do, see, on that timeline, because if you're living the actual goal that you want to achieve ultimately, as you go towards that, you'll be breaking it down to more manageable tasks to get there. So you might think, okay, to get to this centre in Manchester where you're going to be doing 30 hours a week each doing Reiki and doing 3 or 4 workshops, I need to get 30 clients first of all, 20 clients first of all. To get 20 clients, I need to do so many workshops, make some leaflets and flyers, make some phone calls, build associations with different organisations, and it kind of gets the mind working in terms of how it's going to get to where it needs to get to. Because the mind's very powerful. The mind's a powerful tool. If it's generated the right way, if it's got a target to aim for, it will do it. It will find a way to do it. It's just a question of like, well, what do I need to do to get there? But once the mind knows where it wants to go and what it wants to do, it will get there. That's one thing's for sure, definitely.
Because I think we see it that, so now I see it that I need to get an understanding and obviously train on the different therapies, whether it's NLP or hypnotherapy, EFT. So that's my first bit, so that I understand it. Then the next bit to that then is practicing on people and getting a kind of the patter and the skill.
And the confidence.
And using it.
Very much so.
So behind the scenes then, yes, you can do all the things like the website and generating marketing material and things like that. You can do that as a byproduct as well as doing those, and obviously networking off the back of people that you meet with different trainings.
With different events, and of course.
And you get different ideas, don't you? So there's that part of it, and then from there, then the reality of them is about how you're going to market the product, who you're going to target it to,
of course,
the content of it,
definitely,
the premises, how you want it to look,
and all these logistics will pretty much come into the mind. The mind will process them a lot better if it can be done at an unconscious level, and then you can sort of write down the steps you need to take. Because an idea, as long as it's in the mind, it's just an idea. It's until you make them steps towards getting to that place you want to get to, and it becomes a goal or realization, really. But you know, definitely, you know, what you say is important, and it's important to sort of do all that. You can do that consciously and subconsciously, but then you could formalize it into a sort of structure that is actually taking you to where you want to get to as well. That's you know, I think that's a really important process to take. So we'll have a go at the techniques. So if you just relax and close your eyes, let yourself go. Okay, I want you to start first of all by imagining what it would be like living your dream, your goal, professionally. Okay. Just imagine how many clients you'll see. Imagine where you'll be, what you'll be doing. Okay. You might even notice the colour of the clothes you're wearing, what colour the clothes the people around you are wearing, what you'll be saying. Just imagining the feelings that you'll have, where the feelings are, and really living the experience like it's in the here and now. Really reliving the experience like it's in the here and now. Okay? And as you relive or live these experiences, just adjust anything that you think needs adjusting. Just fine tune any adjustments. And just give me a nod when you're happy with all the adjustments you've made. So I'm going to give you a bit of time for your mind to work out exactly how it is that you want the goal to be. Are you happy with the? Okay. Now what I'd like you to do is just disassociate from the experience. So you can still see yourself like watching a TV screen. It's still there. Yeah, just disassociate slightly from the experience. And as you disassociate slightly from the experience, just step to a point just before you've achieved that goal. So on a line that represents time, just walk to a point just beyond achieving that goal. Okay? And as you walk to that point just beyond achieving your goal, imagine on this line that represents time, looking all the way back to the here and now. So you're in the future now, you're just beyond achieving your ultimate goal, and you look all the way back to the here and now. Okay. Now I want you to imagine every step you took to get to this goal. Any phone call, any email, any talks, any training courses, any books you've read, all the things you did to get to the goal. Okay. And now I want you to revisit every step you took and just put things right. Anything you're not 100% happy with, just put it right. Now is your opportunity to put things right. And walking on this timeline, gradually back to the here and now. Just put everything that you feel needs to be put right. And when you're happy with all the steps you've taken, I'm going to gradually bring you back to the here and now, and I'll count backwards from 5 to 1, and as I count backwards from 5 to 1, you're going to come back fully refreshed, recharged, relaxed, revitalized, knowing that your goal awaits you in your future. 5, gradually coming back. 4, 3, gradually coming back. 2, and coming back to the here and now. Okay, how did that feel? Were you able to?
Yeah, it's very vivid.
So you could visually see yourself living your
Very.
goal. Brilliant. And along the way you could see every step you took.
Yeah, probably just need a little bit more time on
To fine tune the
But no, very, very
Yeah.
vivid colours, people that are sort of around me, very vivid, but it's more sort of business orientated.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And were you happy with all the steps you took?
Yeah.
You
Like
just need a little bit more
just
time to fine tune certain things.
yeah. There's bits I'd go back and probably still retune now, but in terms of what I feel comfortable with and the order I think it needs to be done in, and I'm sure that can change as you learn more.
Yeah.
But where I want it to be. See, I suppose ultimately then my vision is as much spread the word about holistic therapies and everything else, and become more competent, and like yourself, very much you become sort of fountain of all knowledge on it, don't you? Because you live and breathe it every day. It becomes an integral part of your life, doesn't it? Even with your NLP and everything else, no matter what, whether you are seeing a client or whether it's just using it in your normal
day-to-day life.
You live and breathe it, don't you?
Yeah.
So that's how I want it to be. Whether any of the therapies that I do, you live and breathe that constantly.
Does your goal excite you? Does it really?
Yeah. So I want it, and I suppose I see it then as I have. I suppose, and I love the colours I've got. I think the sense of excellence where people will come to me or to us to then be trained on whether it. Yeah. And, do you know what I mean? So therefore, then we become an expert in that, and it's recognised, and the brand's recognised, and so sort of people come to you rather than us having to always go to them.
Yes, of course.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, very much so.
So it's okay. That's not going to happen in a year, 2 years, whatever else, but certainly 5 years time.
And there is a process of getting there.
Yeah, of course there is. And you'll make mistakes along the way, and you'll learn, and you'll adjust and readjust. And
yeah, definitely.